In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this image with an incredible location and just some red fabric, and then I'm going to take you into Photoshop and show you the edit. What's up everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Sean Mundy, I'm a photographer and digital artist from Montreal, Quebec. And like I said in the intro, today I wanted to discuss with you how I made this image. To start, this image is called Gateways, and it was made quite a while ago, back in 2013 actually. It was shot in one of the coolest locations I've ever been to in my life, and to this day I still think it's a fairly strong image, and that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to talk to you about it today. As always, I'll show you the Photoshop document as well, and we'll go layer by layer and I'll show you the edit. Before I keep going, if you like my photos, videos, or music, or any of my content in general, I would really appreciate it if you could take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more future videos. I'm going to be doing this regularly and there's going to be a lot more coming out. Now back to the image. So this image was actually shot while I was traveling around the East Coast back in 2013 with my friend Gerbier, who's also a photographer, and I'll put a link in the description for his work. I met him and a lot of other photographers back then through Flickr. It's still a thing, not many people use it, but if you know about it, you might know what it is. It's basically a social media platform for photographers. And I made a lot of connections and friendships from there, and we were actually traveling around, visiting different people that we knew through Flickr and friends and things like this. We were staying with a friend of ours, Steven Seitz, another photographer. I'll link his work in the description. We were traveling around Maryland, and I think we'd taken a trip up to Virginia, if I remember correctly, or down to Virginia. My United States geography is pretty terrible. But either way, we found this man-made waterfall. Underneath the waterfall, there was this long tunnel, and here are some photos to show you for context what it looks like. So as you can see, there are these tunnels underneath the waterfall, and it's full of sand. But at the end of the tunnel, there was just this empty room with an open door full of water, and it was the most surreal thing I'd ever seen. Like I said, it was one of the nicest spots I'd ever been to for a photo, and to actually stumble upon this without knowing I was going to be there, not having any ideas ready for it, it kind of made me very nervous. We brought some props and some fabric with us from Stevens, and thankfully the red fabric was among that. So I just got Marley Cumbie, another photographer that was staying with Steven at the time, whose work will also be in the description, to walk through the water in the room behind the door wearing the red fabric. So shout out to Marley for doing that and trudging through the gross water. I really appreciate it, years later even still. So that's how the shoot went down. Let's go into Photoshop and I'll show you the edit. All right, so here we are in Photoshop, as you can see. So this is the final with all the edits applied. I'm just gonna turn all the layers off, all the adjustments off. We're gonna go to the first raw file. So as you can see just from doing that, there's a bit of expanding going on. So this was back in 2013, like I said, and back then I had a Rebel XTI. It wasn't a full frame camera, and I was using a 50mm most likely at this moment. So I needed to expand the frame just to get more information, but also it makes for a larger file. The camera was only 10 megapixels, so it makes for larger files when you expand as well, so you can print larger and things like this. So it's always a good idea, even if you have a camera with a high megapixel count. So as you can see, I'm basically just building up the image from different shots. So here, if I turn off the layer mask, you can see I actually expanded the image and cut the figure out and just added it from behind, added it behind the door rather. And then I'm taking the floor from another photo. I guess I preferred, yeah, okay, it extends it there. Just getting the sides in. And I actually kind of like the sides now. This is a long time ago, so looking at the way I edited this image is it's particularly interesting. It's like watching how you do something you love, but from a long time ago. Like I kind of want to talk to old Sean and tell him to do things a bit differently, especially right here. I looked over this project before, and I don't know why for the life of me that I moved to this, because this puddle here is like in the perfect spot right there, and here it's like touching the edge of the frame. So I'm definitely going to come back into this and like re-edit this, and this is why you save Photoshop documents, so you can do this. And so here we're actually just getting into some local color adjustments. So just curved layer, adding some contrast to the red. Not too sure what that's doing. Okay, it's pumping. I think it's probably just like an S curve. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Just adding a bit of contrast to the door. And so these are all just very minor adjustments. I very rarely will do like one curves layer or one adjustment layer of any kind of edit and call it a day. Brightening this way up, the curves. Yeah, way up. And bringing some detail back into the reflection. Yeah, it's a nice detail. Might as well pay attention to it. Kill blues in reflection. Okay, down there. Okay, yeah, you can see that it's desaturating the blues. Hue saturation. What is this turning down? Red, definitely not, and probably yellows, yeah. for the background. Oh yeah, way less saturated. Brighten door frame. Naming your layers is handy for this kind of thing. Yeah, then again, another detail that's nice to stand out. There's actually some cool red here I didn't notice originally. Maybe it's the reflection from there and hitting the metal or something, who knows, couldn't tell you. All right, so what is this doing? And this is darkening. Like I said, it's interesting. Oh, this is like an action or something that I downloaded a long time ago. And it kind of just, it does a bit of desaturating. It really pumps up the red though. Okay, yeah, that's doing a bit. And then from there. Now, one way I used to edit that I really don't like anymore, and it was kind of like a trendier thing to do, I guess, back, and I mean, it's still kind of trendy, but like to have like no like pure black, kind of like if you put it on black, it's still not even black there, but even like obviously I'm not a big fan of when it is like there's no information in the darks, but sometimes it's nice to have like a really deep or rich blacks there. So here we're just doing some more curves adjustments, and I really don't like how this is looking right now, obviously, but we're gonna get through it. And like, this is terrible. Again, I wish I could talk to old Sean and tell him to not edit like this, but I have the Photoshop document at least, so, and this isn't the final, so it gets better, clearly. And here we're just touching up the wall a bit, just spot healing, I believe. I turn off the mask. Yeah, exactly. Just sampling from a different part in the wall. Film, and maybe, yes, this is it's a film layer, or a film scan rather. So if I zoom in, you can actually see adding a bit of information on the sides. If I turn off the mask, it's in screen blend mode. Go to normal. It's 16%. Let's remember that. So this is what it looks like when it's not blended. Just a bit of grit for the background. So is that screen? That's 16%. Cool. And then select a color. Wait, yeah, screen, cool. Select a color. Don't know which color is being affected here, but it's kind of just brightening up the background. Hue and saturation. Desaturating everything from what it looks like except for the red. The red looks pretty unfazed. Yeah, the red's not being touched. And then maybe, I think I came back a few years later and touched this up again because it was like even too faded for me at the time. And then this one I know is more recent, from like a few years ago. So the original edit was even worse. I think the original edit might have actually been this, which is, it's not bad, but like take advantage of what you have here and don't try to like kill it for no reason. So this is much better, but even by today's standards, honestly, I would like pump this up to like 100 probably. Yeah, because even then there's like a bit, like it's not like pure black, there's like some information there. I just, it is a bit too deep maybe if it was like halfway, I don't know, either way, point being, I think that was a 9. So that's the edit. It was a really simple edit. Combining the images was probably the most time consuming, and actually like deciding what color adjustments to do. But as far as compositing goes and things like this is a pretty simple edit. It's kind of cool going back and forth. I actually kind of like this detail back there. It is distracting from the figure for sure, but it is an interesting mark on the wall, but it's okay. So that's how I made the image. Like I said before, if you could give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future, I would really appreciate it. Everybody's work will be in the description that I mentioned, and along with my socials and my prints and everything like that if you want to support what I do. Take care, stay inside as much as you can because of COVID, and hopefully we get through this quickly. Stay safe, and I hope you have a great day.